In an online world filled with complaints and demands for change, finally, someone was brave enough to listen. They heard people crying out, using their voices to inspire a generation of people who will no longer sit idly by and let travesties move forward. A generation that dug its feet into the ground and said, no, we will not, nay, we cannot let this happen. Well, I'm here today to tell you once again, someone was brave enough to listen, and change is coming, thanks to you, the truly dedicated and unwavering men and women who support Earth's greatest hero, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, so the news is they're changing the way Sonic the Hedgehog looks in the movie, so they pushed it back. They delayed the film.
We have no problem waiting. True change takes time and effort, and everyone working together to shame these big studios and artists into throwing their original marketing and release plans into the trash for bigger and bolder ideas. They were the right ones.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
Oh, hey,
everybody.
Brandon. Hey.
How's it going?
It's going great. I'm having fun with this one. It's been a long day. Well, it's great to have you back in the studio, and apologies in advance for the lack of Apple box for you to stand on.
I specifically said that in my contract.
Yeah.
I need some height in order.
It's been an issue since we started having guests on. I'm sorry. Anyways, welcome to News Dump, and it's going to be kind of a short one this week because, again, it's a long day. We filmed two episodes today, writing all the scripts, had to edit it, and then come back. But Brandon, what is going on with Sonic?
I would love to inform you about it. By the way, I've written a lot of Sonic fan fiction before.
I don't doubt that, and it's completely not surprising to me at all to hear you say that.
And there's actually one where I combined the Flash and Sonic together, just because I was
Brilliant.
like, who would win in a race?
Brilliant. Who could have thought of such an inspiring thing to start off a fan fiction with?
You know, you have to go somewhere. You know, you have to have an arc, and Sonic won the race, though.
Oh, well, spoiler.
Anyways, well, as you all probably know, after one of the worst trailer receptions in recent memory, the studio, Paramount, did the unthinkable. They actually listened to the fans and conceded that their version of Sonic was horrific and terrible and that something needed to be done. At the time, it looked like they might just be able to fix the film without having to shift any of the release schedule or anything, but reality has set in the studio, and it has officially been pushed back the entire movie date, like 3 months, right?
Yeah, it's surprisingly, it hasn't been pushed back that far, considering what you would assume would be a lot of work to redo the entire main character of a movie. So yeah, it is only getting pushed back 3 months. The original release date for Sonic, it was supposed to be November 8th of this year. Now it's going to arrive on Valentine's Day of next year, which solves everyone's problem of trying to figure out where to take their dates when the time comes.
Well, to be fair, okay, so I'm gonna go see this movie opening day.
Yeah.
Chances are not gonna be doing anything Valentine's Day, so it perfectly lines up.
You could just go like on one of those dating websites and search by like, can't you search by like Sonic fans?
I guess so. I can go to fetlife.com. There's
it's a
probably
kink. There's Sonic fandom is a kink. We all know that. Anyways, as we've said before, those rings, they're cock rings.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
That's why he's collecting them.
They're pretty big, but you know, I guess hedgehogs
He's got a
small.
big dick. Anyways, we've already talked about the studio changing Sonic before on the show, but again, we have to ask, is the way Sonic looks, is that the only problem with the movie? And is it even possible that the movie can be saved just by making Sonic resemble the one that we all know and love from the series of video games? And what if they re-release the trailer with the new Sonic and everyone hates that one too?
It makes him worse. It's just like he's actually like the super leg
They
Sonic.
just made it. They turned him into a minion.
Yes, he's just yellow.
It's a Minion movie now.
Yeah, it's Minions 3.
It's kind of weird to see, and I can't wait to see the next trailer and how people react to it. If nothing else, this whole thing's been great publicity for the movie, and just the announcement that they would fix something like this, it's had a pretty positive reaction online, so at least it's good marketing.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna put Sonic into the refilmed final season of Game of Thrones. That's what the fans truly want.
All the dragons are Sonic now.
Yeah, they're just, it's gotta go fast.
Yeah.
All right, that's the whole plot, they gotta go fast.
Yes.
Whether you love the movie or hate it when it gets released next year, you're gonna have to at least verify that you've seen it before posting a review, because Rotten Tomatoes recently announced that they've added a new feature to their website as a way to combat review bombing. Now, before you get upset for some reason, let's just fill you in on exactly what their plan is. On a post to the site this week, Rotten Tomatoes explained their new, quote, verified ratings and reviews, end quote, feature saying, Rotten Tomatoes now features an audience score made up of ratings from users we've confirmed bought tickets to the movie. We're calling them, quote, verified ratings. We're also tagging written reviews from users so we can confirm purchase tickets to see the movie as verified reviews.
So initially, it looks like you'll be able to verify that you bought the tickets to the movie if you buy them from Fandango, which seems a bit self-serving because Fandango owns Rotten Tomatoes.
And Flixster.
But they insist that they have deals in place with the biggest theater chains around, like AMC, Regal, and Cinemark. And of course, I mean, it is fair to say that logging your ticket purchase with them, it could be a hassle, and you just want to review the damn movie. Or maybe you saw it at a theater that doesn't participate in the verified review system, or you waited and saw it on VOD or Blu-ray or whatever, and you want to do your review a couple months later. Or you sailed the high seas and pirated it.
You just, yeah, why not? And you just show them a picture.
Why don't the pirate
screen.
reviews count? Yeah, you just send them the link to the torrent.
I got this from Kazaa. It's a very established theater chain in
Hello,
Minnesota.
police. They gave us all the clues.
You wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't review a movie you didn't pay for.
That's going to be the new thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, apparently they are going to develop ways for you to verify your review in some way, but they aren't just stopping anyone from reviewing any movie they want, regardless of whether or not they have proof they saw it on the site. Right there, right next to verified reviews, is another option where you can see all the reviews.
Yes.
You can just pick whatever one you want to see. I mean, Amazon pretty much does the same thing with verified reviews. So if you want to dive deep into that dark pit, go for it.
I don't know. I'm kind of fine with this. I'm sure there's going to be people who aren't. Maybe I'm missing out on something. It seems like they're giving the option to view all of the reviews, and then you get to see the ones that are verified, and it's still going to have the critics' reviews right there. And, you know, even critics, they have all critics and top critics.
Top critics.
I'm sure you feel pretty bad if you're not one of the top critics, so now everyone gets to feel a little bad.
You have to work your way up.
But, I mean, let us know in the comments what you actually think of this, but at least verify that you watched our whole video first.
Yeah, and take a picture of it.
Yeah. Now moving on to a story that dropped right after we filmed last week's episode of News Dump. Robert Pattinson has been confirmed as the next actor to don the cape and cowl as Batman in the new standalone film from director Matt Reeves. Asterisk point here, despite all the stories about this all being double confirmed, 100%, 150%, 80-20, whatever it is, it literally says in the original article from Variety that he's their top pick and is in negotiations.
So they did this to get more money.
But
his team leaked it.
Yeah. Their sources say it's not an officially done deal yet, but it's almost certainly going to be Robert Pattinson. So, all that aside, what do you think about this?
Sure. I don't have any.
That was my initial response. I'm fine with this. Okay.
Sure. Like I have no hardcore attachment to who the fuck is Batman. After everyone went up in arms about Ben Affleck, like I didn't like the movie at all, really, but like I thought he was fine. You know what I mean? I don't think you don't need a lot to play Batman, in my opinion. And apparently Robert Pattinson, I haven't seen any of his works.
He's a great actor.
Apparently he's good.
Everyone like latches on to the whole Twilight thing, and that was also
like his first thing, right?
It's also very obvious that people latch onto that because there were people online that were saying that he was too young to play the Batman, or that this movie is obviously what's going to be Batman when he's younger, which might be true, but
he's
also
like 32 now as well, right?
He's not young. It's just that your idea of him is young.
Yeah.
And what a great thing for him. He's permanently young in people's minds.
Yeah, that's
permanently
because he's a vampire.
Permanently a sex symbol for
look,
Mormons.
He's got the cheekbones. I get it. I think, I don't know how he'll be able to play like Bruce Wayne as well, but like you can put a mask on anybody and do a Chris Bale voice. Like you'll be fine. I dated someone who...
You dated someone? That's the craziest fan fiction of all.
But she would watch the first Twilight. It was the only way she could go to bed, is if she had that on in the room. So it was
Did she make you put like sparkly glitter on whenever you guys,
Although I could easily play a vampire in that movie.
You'd be a good Robin.
Yeah, I could be his Robin.
I'm just trying to gas you up.
Thank you. Why, by saying I would be a good Robin?
What's wrong with that? Robin's great.
No, he's only good when he becomes Nightwing, when he's a badass.
Okay, well, it's a good thing to look forward to.
I have goals. Aside from knowing who's playing Batman, we also have info on who he'll be going up against in the film, and it looks like it's going to be the Penguin and Catwoman, according to Hollywood Reporter.
Cool.
So basically, Batman Returns from 1992.
A fine movie.
Circling back.
Yeah.
I mean, they could literally just get Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito to reprise their roles and call it a day. They were great back then, and it would be amazing to see Danny DeVito play the Penguin again after only knowing him as Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in for 13 years or something.
Yeah. It would. I can't any longer separate the character from the actor, so it would be like watching Frank Reynolds play the Penguin, which I am on board for.
They should just cast it as that. Just come out with the release as that. It would be great. He should be in every movie, though. Danny DeVito. He should have been a Detective Pikachu.
Well, yeah, funny you should say that. I mean, I did write the line for you, but it's so great that you just set me up like that, because a lot of people out there, they feel the same way, that Danny DeVito should be in every movie. And why shouldn't he? The man is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Plenty of you probably remember, like Brandon said, back when Detective Pikachu was first announced, people online, they were quick to attempt to convince the studio behind it to cast Danny DeVito as Pikachu. There was a Change.org petition that had over 50,000 signatures. I mean, we all know that Ryan Reynolds ended up landing the role, but believe it or not, apparently they actually tested out Danny DeVito's voice to see if it would work. And also, just this week, one of the artists who worked on Detective Pikachu revealed that they'd done concept art of the DeVito Pikachu.
Wait. So was it just slightly pudgier like the OG version?
You're describing exactly what it is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and it had like it had a nice smirk. It just, I don't know. I'm not an artist, but it seemed like a perfect artist rendition of.
Good on him.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, it totally could have worked. So
Pikachu has slimmed down over the years as well. So to see that at the original, I would have preferred. But anyways,
he was a victim of fat shaming.
He was.
Yeah.
Goddamn Pikachu. All right. As much as it sucks that playing a Pokemon didn't work out for him, there is a brand new petition out there making the rounds demanding that Danny DeVito should be in line to play Wolverine.
Yeah, why not?
At this point, I really think the entire internet is Danny DeVito's agent.
Yeah, he has the best bargaining chips. It's the whole internet.
He just be like, look, they want me. They can't handle it. What are you gonna do? This latest petition already has 30,000 signatures on it, and here's the pitch: the only man able to take the throne after Hugh Jackman. We believe that if Wolverine is to make an appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that the only man able to pull it off is Danny DeVito. A couple good reasons as to why I believe so strongly that he suits the character. Danny DeVito's height is a lot closer to the comic book portrayal of Wolverine, with Danny being 4'10", and Wolverine's 5'3". I'm taller than Wolverine, just throwing that out there.
And Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I did it. I made it. Secondly, we all saw Danny's portrayal of the Trash Man, so we all know he is fully capable of fighting, and that he did not get afraid when things got dirty.
I mean, the image, the mock-up of it sells it alone. That guy didn't even have to write anything. Just the image is great.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
On board.
Doesn't have to beef up, do anything, just walk in on set.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on, we do have an update to Monday's episode from this week where Shibby stopped by to hang out and talk about the whole Tfue versus FaZe Clan shit that was going down. It's been a week. It's been a long week.
I'm so happy I didn't read up on that at all. I
watch
saw
the
it
video.
and I avoided it.
If you're not caught up, or you're not caught up, or you just missed Shibby, make sure you go watch that episode, and that gives the full rundown. We'll wait right here for you to come back.
Yeah, all right.
Hi, welcome back. A few days have passed since the initial story about how Tfue was suing FaZe Clan over a contract that was so bad it was hard to believe. And it even had me convinced that the numbers had to be wrong or exaggerated. Well, apparently it was an exaggeration, and the contract actually was that bad because following two videos, one from FaZe Banks that is nearly unwatchable because of how many jump cuts there are, but also has him showing off his amazing thumbnail creation skills with absolutely no shame. There was also one from Tfue where he lays out his side of the story and focuses on the one thing that could solve everything for people commenting back and forth online as they fight for which side they think is right, releasing the contract.
All right.
So 2 videos in a follow-up to the original lawsuit. That's where we were.
Okay, well, it didn't take long because less than a day later, a website just leaked the entire thing. And yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
It was actually as bad as he said, specifically in regards to brand deals where the 80% was going to FaZe with only 20% going to Tfue.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, their response is pretty much been that they tried to renegotiate with him and they didn't take what they were owed, so on and so forth. And again, as Ricky and Shibby said on Monday, Tfue did sign this, and his career was helped by being part of the group. But putting this type of contract in front of anyone is pretty bad and doesn't really back up all the generosity they claim to have had towards him. Just because they didn't take his money from him for certain things during that year doesn't mean they couldn't hang it over his head or just go after him for more money at some point in the future.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, it still seems like a real tug of war between people over who's bad in this situation. And I just want to be clear, when I say that signing a contract like this is stupid, I'm saying that with at least some years of experience in this business. And I'll readily admit that if I was 19 or 20 or whatever and this opportunity came along, I would have signed it too. I would have been really stupid for doing that, but we were all stupid when we were that young, and we all had no idea what would happen in the future. And some of you are that young, and this is a cautionary tale. On the other hand, I still think that Tfue, regardless of how incredibly wealthy he's become over the last year, is kind of justified in his anger towards FaZe and his desire to leave, because the dude made shit on brand deals, which is the bread and butter of monetization for digital creators. He potentially lost out on millions of dollars. Millions, just like gone. And not entirely because of the contract, but in my opinion, because according to their own numbers that they willingly spoke about, they didn't do a good job of bringing him clients that should have been, and probably were, frothing at the mouth to throw ridiculous amounts of money his way. I don't know. The whole thing, it's just a weird example of people, myself included, sitting on the sidelines watching rich people argue about how much more money they all could have made. This is probably the last we're going to talk about it. Elliot's definitely not going to be interested in this, so I'm kind of just interested to see what the ripple effect of this lawsuit is and how it potentially changes the esports and influencer landscape going forward, because it will, hopefully for the better.
Yeah, and California's pretty strict on this stuff, right? So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and especially because all of this is so out in the open. Like, if no one had made responses at all, it would have been a lot easier for them to kind of just like settle this in private. But instead, like FaZe and Banks and all of them made a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
Like just being like,
again, they're monetizing
but the
drama.
homie clause. We were homies. Obviously, every contract has a homie clause where you can't fuck over your friends. But those videos, it's not like people in California aren't seeing that.
Yes.
And with how much money's on the line, like, you would assume that this is going to be looked into, I guess.
That's the weird thing about the influencer culture, too.
And then that opens it up to every other sports organization and digital influencer
well, they can look at it, you know what I mean?
They're like, if these people are doing it.
That's what I've learned, is that influencer culture, normally this shit would just happen in private, right? And no, they will monetize it. They will bring it out there, and then that has huge ramifications of things as well. It's kind of...
Yeah, dude got like 5 million views on his first video about it. That pays for the lawyer.
Jesus. Yeah, so if you do have a contract and you're younger, I did this when I was younger as well, just pay $100, have a lawyer look at it. At the very least, they can be like, this is bad, and if you want to sign it anyways, you can, but at least you know. But it costs like $100 to get things looked at, right?
If you get a contract and someone actually wants you to be a part of something that they're doing, whether you're a musician going to a record label or an esports person wanting to play for a team, or an influencer that's getting signed by an agency or something like that, if they really truly do want you a part of their organization, whatever it is, there is room to negotiate.
Yeah.
If they don't want to negotiate, they don't care about you in the first place. So, I mean, that's the only advice I can really give.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would have, being that young, I'm no shame. I probably would have signed something too like that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know any better.
Yeah,
and you want to be rich and famous.
And I think it takes time to feel good enough to negotiate. It's hard.
There's
it's
no
really
confidence
hard.
then too, especially when you're dealing with, to him, the people in the organization are people he looks up to and trusts.
Yes. It's okay, Ricky. You can always cheer yourself up with more movies.
Yes, time to slip into Fantasyland.
I know you guys can't show trailers because the Warner Brothers version of FaZe Banks will break down your door, hold you upside down, and shake the change out of your pocket. But if anyone there wants to go searching for them, there were 2 big trailers that dropped this week. One for Tarantino's new film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and a new trailer for Terminator movie, Dark Fate, the new Terminator movie.
It's fine. People know what you're talking
Terminator
about.
movie.
Yeah.
I sound like an 80-year-old man.
New Terminator movie, please.
Also,
there are not enough Terminator movies.
Oh God, this is like the 5th. Sarah Connor Chronicles, though, is awesome, and it has Lena Headey on it.
This is like the
It's my dream boat.
6 or 7?
Yeah, you know what? I actually think the Kristen Bale one, the 4th one,
Not bad.
it's underrated.
Plus, we got that great audio clip of him yelling at the lighting guy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Real quick, I did not like this trailer, and I'm scared to say that because so many people online actually really liked it. I just think that all the fight scenes that I saw in the trailer are wacky, and it looks like way too much CGI fighting with like unnatural movement. Not that robots are natural, or whatever futuristic robot this person is natural, but like, it seems like fucking Stretch Armstrong.
Do they like it in the sense of the last thing we got was Genesis? And it's just Sarah Connor again, and we got her back.
That's the best part of the trailer.
Right.
I will withhold judgment and just say that I didn't enjoy the trailer.
You withhold Judgment Day.
Please stop being mean to me. Elliot, come home.
No, just be mean to me. It's fine. I can take it.
Yeah.
I've been through the fires of machinima. Also, a brand new short film from The Lonely Island on Netflix called Unauthorized Bash Brothers Experience that you can watch right now, which I did watch the day it dropped.
Okay, good. I've seen like 3 clips online, which basically is the whole entire thing, but it is, the songs that I saw are fucking hilarious.
They're great, and it is again a case of people at a point where they can do whatever they want, and Netflix being like, fuck it, we have so much money, we'll let you do it.
They just announced a fucking Between Two Ferns movie with Zach Galifianakis.
And Netflix did?
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna translate to a movie, but I'm more than down to watch 2 hours of Zach Galifianakis interviewing people. Also a good reminder to go watch MacGruber.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. God, it's been so long since I've seen MacGruber.
Yeah. It's a work of fucking art.
Yeah.
Anyways, we both saw John Wick 3.
Yes.
You've seen it twice now.
I have seen it twice. I enjoyed it that much.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was one of the best. I mean, my tweet was, I think it's the best action movie outside of a superhero movie, because you have to define that, because people get all hung up on it.
Yeah.
It's the best action movie I've seen in a really, really long time. It very much reminds me of like the mid-90s action movies that were just over the top with blood, guts, insane action scenes. I think it's some of the best fight choreography I've seen since, there's this movie called The Protector that came out like a decade ago.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
That was probably the best like fight sequencing I've seen in a long time. This movie, like the whole time I was just like, I was shocked by what I was seeing in a very, very, very good way. And I don't really think that, like, if you haven't seen number 2, again, the plot is important, but you could go into this and just enjoy it for the action sequences.
Yes, I think it's harder to point at a better trilogy of action films than John Wick right now.
Yeah.
Because it really is like a ballet of bullets and the way that they choreograph it and stuff. And the story is simple, but like, what I love about the John Wick movies is you don't want John Wick to be doing this. You're like, Jesus Christ, John.
I want him to be doing it the whole time. It's amazing.
You do, but like...
It's like watching an artist paint.
I know, but he shouldn't. It's like, because he's struggling with it, and Halle Berry's fucking awesome in it.
So that was the thing, as we say on this show a whole lot, never watched trailers. I never watched one trailer for John Wick 3.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much more because of that, I think. I had no idea Halle Berry was in it. Like, it might have crossed through my brain at some point, or we had been talking about it, but I completely had forgotten by the time I got there. Also, one of the reasons that I think the fight scenes work so well is that with so many not so great action movies, it's a lot of the work relies on the cameramen.
Yes, to like twist
this
as
is
they
very
do
much
the hits.
There are a lot of cuts in it, but you get to watch things play out, which is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tribute to the stuntmen and everything else. Like
Go see John Wick 3. It's really that good.
Yes.
They're not sponsoring the show. But that's it for us this week. Thank you for coming in. Where can people find you?
In my room, crying. No, you can...
But as you cry into your keyboard, what's your Twitter handle?
I'm on Twitter at bwinfree. I'm on Instagram at bwinfree. Thursday nights I do a Warhammer show, Warhammer 40K show at Hyper RPG.
Cool.
On Twitch. It's really fun. I'm the GM. So if you like miniatures and stuff. And
the general manager?
I am I say, don't get that unit in there, the Space Wolves. They can't go down tonight.
It's me, Mr. Manager.
Oh. Yeah, pretty much.
If you want to support the show, please head to our Patreon and become a member. Be sure to check out the latest episodes. We have a brand new episode of Tech News Day with Dan Casey from Nerdist about an entire city getting held ransom by hackers.
What, is that real? Did that happen?
Yes.
Oh,
and also a new episode of Weekly Weird News with Hundar, where we sit around and wonder whether maybe Moby's a bit of a weirdo, or maybe not. Maybe he's just really cool. Anyways, Elliot is going to be back on the next episode. He landed already by the time we were filming this. I almost had to fire you from this episode.
Oh.
But he doesn't want to come in this late.
Yeah, no, that's a bummer.
He'll be in the next episode. Get excited.
Fired.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Bye-bye. Bye.